Hello everybody, Nick here from Level 1 Racing, and today we're doing a quick recap of our Sunday race at Carolina Motorsports Park. Let's get right into it. Here is the 412, and it is a 1994 Mazda Miata running in A-Class. We are at Carolina Motorsports Park, and this is our Sunday 7-hour race. See the track here. It is a great track. We had a ton of fun, so let's get right into it. Here we are at the start of the race. I'm driving, and here's the green flags. We're just going to go for a lap here at the start and kind of show you around the traffic that you get at the start of the race. That car directly ahead of us is Eb's car. Eb Vasquez, he is a team member of ours, and he is letting his brother and some friends drive the car in the race today. You'll see it later on in a pretty spectacular event. But the key to starts here is just to keep the car clean. It's a 7-hour race. There's no reason to push, do anything wild. And especially today, yesterday the car went down with a failed left rear hub. So as I get in the car today, the car is completely untested, and I am just hoping that this hub stays together for me. I do not want to run into any issues with that. So we take things pretty gingerly here at the start just to see what the car is capable of. As you can we still have a huge gaggle of cars here, a lot of traffic to work through, and this is just typical of a ChampCar start. You know, not a lot of clear track time at the beginning. Takes a little while for things to normalize, get cars spaced out, but it really is what makes this ChampCar racing fun. And there you have it. That is a lap of Carolina Motorsports Park at the start. Now we're going to follow along. This red NC Miata in front of me here, we were working together through traffic really well. Made our way up to about 8th place overall. And then a little bit of drama happens. So we're going to watch this lap, see how things shake up, how we're playing traffic, and kind of go over some decisions that I made, especially later in the lap. So as we're coming up here, you'll see there is a red car, this Hyundai, that's really slow, and it kind of throws everyone off. So braking at the regular spot even earlier, and then all of a sudden I think, oh no! I thought I could go to the inside. I thought the BMW was going to stay behind the Hyundai, and he didn't. So a little bit of a brown moment there, but we survived, made a pass on 2 cars, and survived. But here we are later in the session, about an hour and 20 minutes in, and Finally, some clear track. The fuel is burned off the car. Car's getting light. I figured out the track a little bit since I didn't get to drive on Saturday's race. And we can finally stretch our legs. So here we are, lap 43 of my stint. And this is my 2 fastest laps. I'll show you 43 and 44. This first lap here is a 150.758 and the second lap a 150.8, so very similar lap times, a lot of clear track. And coming up to the next lap, I will walk you through my mindset. A lot of glare out the window here. You can see the exposure not quite working. And yeah, it's just that sun rising. The position of it was really tough in the morning there as we come into turn 11 here. This corner you got to keep nice and tidy. You don't want to use too much track because you do have this very important right-hander coming up. Longer straight, so a little bit more important. So coming off the final corner here onto the main straight, we're going to be looking for the 3 brake marker as we get down into turn 1 here. So there's 4, 3, and we're on the brakes. A little bit late, maybe the 2. This corner you want to keep tidy. Again, you're going to go directly into this right-hander. Use the curb if you have to. It's fine there. Again, this corner as well. Slight lift, right back on it. Car wants to get loose, but no problem there. Up into 4th gear, you're looking for the 2 brake marker again. Little tap, and you turn it in, staying in 4th. Then hard on the brakes, down into 3rd, quick, all at once, and then hug that inside rumble. You're going to miss this apex by a couple of feet, so you can really hit this one at speed, and you're already flat heading on to the short chute down into the 1st kink. Up into 4th gear. Again, you're going to be coming downhill, so you got to brake a little earlier than you think. Car's got a little more momentum. Down into 3rd late, you don't want to over rev it. Use the curb if you want. Little slide, but right back on the power. And here we go. We're back onto the back stretch here. Now this corner here is top of 4th. It's called the main kink. Top of 4th. Use the curbs to get all the track. That way you can track out if you need to. Flat through there about 108 miles an hour. Then hard on the brakes by about the 3.5 marker. 3rd gear, turn it in, nice and easy, get back to power, get all the way back to the left for this turn number 12, and turn 13 here, coming up to 14th, you're going to shift up, right about the 3, onto the brakes, down into 3rd, you can go 2nd if you want. I really wanted to eke this one out, it was a good lap. Little slide on exit, lose a little bit of time there, but nothing to worry about. And that is my fastest lap of Carolina Motorsports Park. Alright, so now we've done our full stint, we've come in, and this is what it looks like in the car as we get out for a pit stop. Nice and easy, we have 5 minutes, you can see the timer on the dash there, to complete this pit stop. Power goes off. Wheel comes off, seatbelt's undone. Paul's going to get in the car, undo my cool shirt, get everything released. You can see Dylan off to the right holding our fire bottle. And we're out of the car. Now this is a great time to switch over to Dylan's helmet cam and see exactly what this looks like. So the team is all ready. We've got the driver ready, driver swap helper, fueler, and fire bottle. Everyone lined up. Huge thanks to all of them. Dylan is the one here. We've got Kyle, who's going to be our fuel man. Paul doing the driver swap. So we're going to come out, drop the drip pan underneath, keep any fuel from landing on pit road. Dylan's going to open the cap as Kyle gets the first fuel bottle ready. Dylan's going to move to the side here, and he's holding the fire bottle 6 feet away so that if anything happens, he is able to spray it down. You can see Paul there getting everyone out. I get out of the car, over the wall. Jordan, our race manager, helped us out huge. John Wilding on the fire bottle behind, or the fuel bottle behind the wall, and now Mark is going to get into the car. Now as he gets in, Paul's going to go for seatbelts and cool shirt and radio. Those are the three things he's got to make sure get on and hooked up correctly. Seatbelts need to be nice and tight. They need to hold our Hans in, and they need to be ready to go. Radio obviously needs to be connected for car communication to the pits, and Mark uses a water bottle and a cool shirt to keep him hydrated and cool during the stint. Now Dylan is kind of a lookout man. He's got to watch cars coming in. You see him looking at pit in every now and then, check see if there are any cars going to be driving by, because if something happens, he needs to get Kyle out of the way while he's looking at that fuel bottle. We've got to get him out of the way and keep him safe, because he's got no protection out there on pit road. Now this is a lot different than a pro pit stop. We have no tire changes unless we have a tire issue. So everything is pretty quick as you see a car coming back out from the garages. Alright, so we did 2 5-gallon bottles and then about 3 to 4 gallons from this yellow bottle here to fill up the car. This was about an hour and 55-minute stint. We used up almost all of the 13.5-ish gallons that this car can handle between the stock, fuel tank, and our filler neck. Alright, now no work can be done on the car while the fuel cap is off here. So as the fuel's finished, you'll see Kyle puts the cap on right away. Dylan grabs the pan. Other work can now start on the car. We're going to check the oil. We're going to check the hub that broke yesterday. Dylan's going to change the ice in the cool shirt box, as well as install the water bottle for Mark. So he tosses the cup in, opens the door. Water bottle goes in. He's going to open up that cool shirt box.
Dude, this Flagtronics thing's got a timer on it. We're at 2:52. Correct.
Now the Flagtronics thing is the thing you saw when I pulled in, that green little light above all of our switches there. That is going to give you plenty of room. He's pulling out some of the old water, tossing in ice bags to cool that water back down. Seal that cool shirt box again. It's got a pump in there that pumps water through the shirt. Changing the dot to the next driver, gives his dad a pat on the shoulder as Mark gets ready to go. Alright, fuel filler goes down. We're checking oil. We've checked the hub already, I believe. And that is a pit stop. Now it's just time to wait. You can see it's a full team effort. You know, I got out of the car and immediately had to help. John Wilding, third driver, he is also going to be helping. And I'm going to give Mark some tips as how the car is driving, so he's ready. Cup goes in, thumbs up, and that is a good pit stop. We're just waiting for our 5 minutes now. So Paul's looking at a timer. You can hear me on the radio talking things over. We're at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Takes about 30 to 40 seconds to get down pit road at pit road speed of 20 miles an hour. And Mark is released. He is ready to go out on his stint. Now with today's format, it is a 7-hour race that takes 8 hours. So what that means is there is a 1-hour quiet hour. So we're going to watch Mark's short stint here that leads up to the quiet hour, and then we're going to see the rest of his stint after that. All right, wristbands are checked. Checking timers. 5 seconds, and Mark is off. Alright, so we'll watch Mark's outlap, see what it's like driving on cold tires for him if he has any issues as he gets settled into the car. Hopefully he's going to use the tips that I gave him and get this car back around. It's always anxious waiting in the pits when someone goes out and you're like, come on car, make it back around. I hope nothing got messed up. And look at that, first lap through the kink, Mark is flat. He was not flat yesterday. It was pretty sketchy. And sure enough, today the car is a lot more confident. And Mark's able to drive much, much better without that broken hub. All right, sorry about that slight break in the action, but we are picking things up again. And this is the outlap for Mark. So, great job, got the car back around. He's already settled in and driving great. Now, what you couldn't hear is Mark come over the radio and say, wow, this is a completely different car from yesterday. He is very happy. So he drives his 20 minutes, pretty short little stint there, and now we are going into a red flag condition. The pace car comes out and picks up the leader, and we are going to drive all of the cars onto the front straight and park them. No work can be done. It is a red flag, but this will allow drivers to get out. We are allowed to change cameras and do driver comfort things, as in cool shirt boxes, new water bottles if we need to, but it's just an hour break. There's a church nearby that has their service, and they need their time to have a service. So the track does this comply. So yes, this is a 7-hour race that takes place over 8 hours with a quiet hour in the middle. So all right, so that's where Mark ended up. He's back in the car now, one caution lap, and he is back. And as you can see, rain is already falling on the windshield. Yesterday we flipped the tires around to a reverse tread pattern to try and get a little more rubber on the left side of the car, because the left side gets a little more beat up than the right. And I think Mark knows this, and he's hoping it's just a sprinkle. But unfortunately, as you'll see, it is a little more than just a sprinkle. Rain already starting to come down on this section of the track, slicking things up a little bit. This track is extremely temperature sensitive, we found. You know, just a cloud passing over the track can really improve your grip. It was a crazy kind of phenomenon. Never driven on a track like it. As Mark sends it up the inside with a little bit of rain coming down, I think the other driver might have been a little bit scared. Mark's not, he's sending it. See Mark tapping on that button there. That is a light at the front of the car that actually flashes, makes you a little bit more visible to the cars in front of you. And here we come. Here comes the rain. Wipers are on, and it only gets worse. Here's another lap. This is a full lap of Mark in the rain, and just how much the rain slows you down. You can see just how delicate you've got to be on the gas pedals through that section compared to the other fast laps. Visibility is better for Mark than the camera here, so he knows where that car is in front of him. So don't think he was just going blind that close to another car. But yep, he is tiptoeing through this corner. No shot of being flat at this last apex. As he leans into the throttle and goes for it, letting all that Autotechnic horsepower out. Mark stayed in fourth gear through that corner, which is probably a good move, as downshifting can really unsettle the car, and it's already kind of a slippery corner there to begin with. Again, visibility better for Mark in the car than the camera sees here. The sun on that side of the track makes the camera a little hard to adjust, so this is not exactly what Mark is seeing. This is a much better picture. see just how slow it is, but right now we are trying to hang on. We are inside the top 10 squarely, second in our class. And we know that if we can keep on running laps, we've got a good shot, maybe a top 5 or a podium, and hopefully winning our class. So, you know, even though it's raining and it's not the ideal driving conditions, we've got to keep things up here. So this is lap 77 that we just watched. Now the rain obviously stops, and here we are, lap 106. Mark's fast lap. He got down to a 153.1. And this was very near the end of his stint. So the car is, again, light on fuel as we like. Tires obviously don't fall off as it's a street tire instead of a race tire. So it's a perfect combination. Let's see how Mark does. 4th gear, looking for the 2 on the brakes. A little longer on the brakes than he could be, but that's all right. Into 3rd. He's got some traffic here. That's going to slow his lap down. Definitely leaving a lot of tenths on the table there, as his exit speed is not going to be what it could have been. So a 53.1 in these conditions with traffic like that is very solid as he goes to 4th down the hill towards kink number 1. A little early on the brakes. Staying in 4th. Up the hill. He's going to come up to this RX-8 here. Oh, he's going to catch him right before the kink, it looks like. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to dive on in. Little lift since he's offline. That's all right. Can brake a little deeper, but he's going to brake at the same spot still. Nice and safe. Get the car home. He knows he's close to the end of the stint here. Bending it through turns 12 and 13 here. Very nice. Get back to gas. Searching for that push to talk lever. On the brakes. 3rd. Will he go to 2nd? No, he will not. He'll leave it in 3rd. Carrying plenty of speed through there. And that is Mark Dana's best lap of his stint on Sunday, lap 106 at 153.1. Now just 2 laps later, lap 108, it is time for him to pit. We call him in, and John Wilding is going to step into the car. So let's see how Mark brings it in. We didn't get to see this from my video. So this will be your first look at how you run it into pit lane. Join the blend line. Mark disconnecting his water bottle tube here to be ready. Nice and easy. You want to bring it in nice and slow. You don't want to scare our workers here because it'll give you a penalty. Mark pulls in. Car goes off. Master power off. Wheel off. And time to get out. Again, Paul helping with the cool shirt. Mark undoes the belts. And out of the car goes Mark. All right, John Wilding in the car now as he's rolling down pit road. 20-mile-an-hour speed limit here. You can see on the timer in the center there, that green timer, 4 minutes and 45 seconds have gone by, so 15 minutes to complete our mandatory 5-minute pit stop. Worker will check the armband, make sure he's a registered driver.
Where's your flag on it?
5 minutes, and we are good to go. John gets released. A little bit of traffic in front of him. Now this is much later in the day. The track temperature has gone up significantly, so grip levels are not where they were. It is definitely slicker than when I was driving in the morning. So here we go. We are coming out. And this is John Wilding's fastest lap. Lap 133, a 151.514. So a great lap in these greasy conditions. Just a couple of tenths off my best lap earlier in the day. Rolls it through very well. Quick down to 3rd gear. Hug it on the apex there. Stay on the rumbles. Miss this by a couple of feet. Bend it in, get real tight to this apex, and release. Now, there are rumbles on the outside of this track, but they are pretty steep, very large rumble strips. So you don't want to hit them if you don't have to. So we're just trying to stay on the inside curbs. Do not use the outside curbs if you can. John coming up on the number 750 team, also from Florida. They lost a splitter the day before, so they were very pushy in their handling. As John jumps on the brakes, flat through the kink, bends it through. Very well done. Tracking out just enough. Right back over to the left. Again, turning it right. Trying not to eat up that left front tire too much. Back on the gas as early as possible. Third gear, carrying lots of speed through there, using as much road as possible, and onto the main stretch. Great lap by John. Alright, now I wanted to include this clip. So this is our friend Adam Spencer and Miles' car in front of us, the Six Bangers racing car, $799 E46 BMW 3 Series. And we just had to highlight this because Miles is driving right now, and he came by John pretty well, you know, which the car had been doing all day. It's got a great amount of power as you see it kind of take off down the straight here, but a couple of easy mistakes by Miles, and John is able to get in front of him and stay there for quite a while. So we had to throw a little jab at him. See Miles not flat through the kink there. He's accelerating and missing this apex by a country mile. Very wide. And then once again, he tries to fight back, but he doesn't get all the way back over. And he misses the apex here too. And that allows John to take the racing line and just slide right up underneath him. So Miles, we need you to clean it up for next race, buddy. Come on, find that time. And this is what traffic can end up looking like. You know, you'll have these moments where, you know, you've run for a few laps and now you've got two cars in front of you at different speeds and you've got to figure it out. So John hesitates here, but he says, nope, Camaro's giving me space. I'm taking it. He jumps on the flasher real quick, goes up into fourth. NC sees it, gives him a little point there out the window. John slides up the inside, and a great move going into the carousel here. John gives him a thumbs up. They both made it through, didn't lose too much time. That is outstanding multi-class racing. Love to see that when you're out there in ChampCar. So kudos to John and the driver of that red NC. Now as John is doing some stretching here on his wrists, there's a little bit of smoke up ahead. And what is this? This is Ebb's car that we saw earlier during my stint at the beginning. And he's got some smoke pouring off the rear wheel there, and that smoke is going to turn into a small fire. So he's going to stop at the corner station. Ray's going to get out of the car and hit it with a fire extinguisher. And as you can see, red flags are going to start poking out. John's going to see it. Red flag comes up on our Flagtronics unit. He's going to stop in view of the corner worker here. And you hear Jordan on the radio letting us know. Now, during this red flag, we had an epiphany that, hey, we're going to have a caution after this, so we should pit now. Save ourselves some track time, pit under caution. So John does a full lap. As you can see, he's coming around. We were stressing to get ready as quick as possible. And we do. We're able to get ready in time. We've got the crew ready. Ebb is ready to jump in. And John is going to pit in this lap while it's still under caution. So we will save some track time there. We won't lose as many laps as if we waited longer to pit under green. But it does mean that Ebb is going to have to run a full 2 hours to get us home. So he's going to be exhausted. All right, now we have to say a big thanks to the ChampCar workers here. The second guy comes out, puts it on so we do not have to pull up and stop. Gives us huge advantage there as John pulls in. And again, pit stop as usual. Paul very excited that we are able to get it under caution because he knows that it is going to be a huge help for us. John's cool shirt line gets stuck there. Adjust it, and he is out of the car. Now Eb jumps in and hears no as go and takes off about 2 minutes early. You know, no way of turning back or anything like that. So he's going to get held here at pit out, as he should. It's a 5-minute mandatory pit stop. We sent him early. That's our fault. So they pull him off to the side after checking the timer. So I'm going to fast forward through that, and we will pick back up when they release Eb.
Yeah, already picked it up.
All right, and there he goes, Eb launching it. And he is off on a track. Now, unfortunately, the camera died during Eb's stint, so we do not have Eb's fastest lap. Eb got down to a 51.4 on lap 193, which is pretty close to the end. So we're just going to watch a couple of his outlaps here since he deserves some camera time. And then we will give you the recap and where we finished. Now, right now, we are in second place in class, 6th overall, which is great. But during Eb's stint, the car in first place in our class has a brake issue. And they have to come in and pit. So we are able to pass them sometime in this stint. Unfortunately, obviously, you're not going to see an on-track pass for it since they're in the pits, but we were able to get that done, which was awesome. Now, at one point, we were into 4th place, but there were 2 cars with just more pace than us, a little more power, that were able to come by. So unfortunately, we do have to relinquish that back to 5th position. And a broken tie rod on 3rd to last lap moved us from 6th back into 5th. But still a super great race for us. We were very thrilled. So we're going to let Eb run this lap, do his thing. Sprinkles of rain, but nothing really came from this, just a light sprinkle, which was good. And yeah, Eb is in the car, he's doing well. We were able to give him an update on his particular car that caught fire earlier, as he's looking for a gear here in turn number 11. And he was able to get focused. We know that his mind was in a tough spot, so I give him a ton of kudos for jumping in as quick as he did, not knowing what was up with his car. Just a lot of things to be wondering, and we were able to get him updated. He was able to get focused and bring it home for us. here we are at the finish. Eb coming by, flashing the light. Little rev from the motor. And that is it. That's all she wrote. Here's the car in impound. We got to say a huge thank you to Greg Presnell, Auto Technic Racing, FAS Windows and Doors, 5X Racing. There's a shot of our Minion trophy that we won. And a final shout out to everyone who helped. Dylan, Kyle, Jordan, Eb, Paul, me, John Wilding, and Mark Dana for prepping the car. Thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you soon.